Most people think their business is too boring to go viral, and you're probably sitting there saying, well, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a lifestyle brand, I'm just the insert whatever your limiting belief is. And cool. But the truth is, there's no such thing as boring business, there's only boring content. The difference between people that get hundreds and thousands and millions of views and the ones that can't break 100 isn't what they sell, it's how they package what they sell. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to take whatever type of business you have, whether you think it's super dry or super niche or too professional, and turn it into content that people can't stop watching. Because once you understand this system, you'll never run out of viral ideas again. Let me tell you the truth up front. Going viral isn't about chasing trends, it's about taking familiar ideas and making them new again, and taking boring ideas and making them relatable. And I know a little bit about this because I made over 7 figures online in my business straight from content. And I had my first digital product do a little over 900K straight from content. So I'm telling you, you don't need to be funny, you don't need to dance, you don't need fancy editing, you don't even need to be that high super level guru mince of an expert that you think. What you need is a story, a perspective, and a system to make people care. And that's what this whole breakdown is about. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break it all the way down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, feel free to click off of this video, go watch a cat video or something like that, and just end up being one of those burnt out content creators that are just posting on every single social media platform, crossing their fingers and hoping to make some money, when you don't have to do that at all. All that you have to focus on is YouTube. And if you don't want to grow a YouTube channel, click off of this video too, because you're just going to be wasting your time, because YouTube trumps all. And I'll just prove this to you real quick, because anybody that wants to grow on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on whatever it is, where do they go to learn how to grow on it? They all go to YouTube. They don't go to Instagram to learn how to grow on Instagram. They watch a long form YouTube video about it. They don't go on TikTok to learn how to grow on TikTok. They watch a long form YouTube video about it. So if you are looking to build a business, the best way to build a business is with long form YouTube content. It trumps all. You come to YouTube to learn about everything. You don't go everywhere else to learn about everything. You go right here where you are right now. Another thing that we have to get clear before we get down to the meat, that's what she said, it's this whole concept of viral. So no, viral isn't the goal, because typically to go viral in the true sense of viral, typically you have to make really broad content. And if you're looking to build a business, typically you have an offer for a specific person fixing a specific problem. And videos that go viral are typically about such a broad topic that you don't get in front of your intended customer or your intended avatar, right? So viral isn't the actual goal, but when I say viral, there's a term that I kicked up. I call it viral for me, right? VFM, viral for me. So just think about viral for you. What will be viral for you within your business to get in front of the right person? So I don't mean viral how all these content creators are thinking about going viral, because then you end up doing a bunch of goofy stuff on the internet just to get as many views as possible. If I want to go viral, all that I would have to do is just walk down the street and smack a granny. Boom, that video will probably go viral. Would I get in front of my intended customer base to build my business online? Probably not. And this is the real reason why most entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs suffer online, is because they are actually trying to go viral instead of focusing on getting in front of their avatar and making them VFM moments, right? Those viral for me moments, or those viral for you moments. And since most business owners don't look at their content from this lens, they ask the wrong question. So most business owners ask, what should I post? Instead of why would people care? And this is what you want to focus on right now. It doesn't matter what it is that you post. What matters is why would someone care about what you post? This one question separates content that builds fans from content that just dies in the feed. When someone scrolls past your video, they're not rejecting your video. They're not rejecting your offer. They're rejecting your angle. Because the internet does not reward experts. It rewards people that can make their expertise interesting. That's why a real estate agent that does a full property house tour in 10 seconds, just running all through the house, talking really, really fast, blows up, while another real estate agent does a full property breakdown and they only get 53 views. Both of those individuals are smart, but one of them understands attention and the other one doesn't. So before we fix your content, you gotta understand this. Your business isn't boring, your communication is lazy. So here's the mindset shift. Stop being the hero of your content and start being a guide in an interesting world. So look, every single time somebody is presented with an option to watch a video, it's like they have a fork in the road and they need to choose. And on this road, you have information, and on this road here, you have curiosity. 9 times out of 10, I'm damn near willing to say 10 times out of 10, that person is never going to choose the route of information. They are always going to choose the path of curiosity. So your job isn't to talk about what you sell and all the information behind it. Your job is to open the door to a world that they didn't even know existed. So if you're a tax expert, for example, instead of naming a video, the 4 steps to save 30% on your annual taxes, that's straight information. That's not going to get anybody's attention. Instead, give some crazy tax loophole on how you can save a bunch in your taxes by buying a Mercedes G-Wagon. If you're a candle maker, show us the 1 cent that nobody buys that everybody should. If you're a roofer, start filming your tips while you're literally on a ladder instead of sitting at a desk talking about, these are the 5 reasons why you need to have a metal roof over a shingle roof. But you see the pattern? You're not changing what you do, but you're changing the context in which you show it in. Every niche has a G-Wagon moment, something that people instantly recognize. And when you tie your expertise to that, that's when they'll stop scrolling. That's how you turn a boring topic into a viral for you topic. And I really need you to really understand and grasp this whole concept of the viral for you videos, because on YouTube, and this is really pretty much a life formula also, but there's something called the 80-20 principle, right? Or the Pareto principle. And it basically says that you get 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts, right? But so many people are focused on the 80% of things that are basically not going to bring them in any results, instead of being focused on the few of the 20% of the things that are going to bring in 80% of their results. And on YouTube, you're going to have a few of those viral for you moments. I put VFM, viral for me, right? But you're going to have a few of those viral for you moments that are going to be the things that lift your channel as a whole on this platform of YouTube, right? A lot of people think that it's going to be all these videos that lift their channel and audience size, but no, it's going to be about 20% of your videos that bring in the brunt of your audience. That's why you only need to have a couple of these viral for you moments, right? But once you do have those viral for you moments, then all the rest of your YouTube videos, all the rest of this 80% over here, they're going to be serving all those people that became aware of you through your viral moment. So every other video is still needed, but so many people think that it's just going to be like this big upwind of all these videos that lifts their audience size on YouTube, when typically it's going to be a couple to a handful of videos that bring in the majority of your audience. And then all those other videos will be serving those people that decided to tap in with you. And if you look at any creator with any nice size audience, it typically started off with a couple to a few videos bringing in the brunt of their audience. Now, let me break down the framework of going viral in a boring niche, and I'm gonna break it down in 6 steps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So step 1 is the format shakeup. This is where you borrow a format that already works and you put your spin on it. You put your niche to it. So for example, one of my dreams in life is to be on this show called Hot Ones. I don't know if you've ever heard of that show, but it's a show where they take celebrities and they just ask them regular old boring questions while they eat like some of the spiciest wings. It's some of the most entertaining stuff ever, right? But the only thing that makes it entertaining is the hot wings and seeing the celebrities like sweating and drinking all kinds of milk and asking for ice cream and crying and sometimes like throwing up and stuff off of eating these wings. But the questions that the host is asking, they're very boring. But that's a format that's been proven to work. So for example, if somebody snitch was law, why couldn't they come up with something and call it hot law, where they're sitting there and they're giving law tips in whatever aspect of law that they're in while they're eating like the world's spiciest chips? You see, the format is the hook. And when you combine that with your subject matter, you become binge worthy by association, because then people will come to know you and associate and remember you as, oh, that's the lawyer that eats the hot chips. You get brand recognition, and that's something everybody's out here trying to build these brands when they don't even know what the definition of brand is. Like, brand has multiple definitions, but one of my favorite definitions of brand, or how I like to think of it first, even though it's probably a secondary definition if you like look up the actual definition, but in one of the definitions of brand, it says like how it's something that is burned into livestock, and that brand is burnt into the livestock to show ownership. Well, a lot of times when you're building a brand for yourself, you need to have something that is so identifiable that it's burned into the memories of people. Like, you are associated with this thing so much to where when people do become aware of you, they can't forget you because your brand is burned into their psyche. But another way to shake up the format, even outside of that, is to find examples of things that have even actually gone viral in the regular everyday person's definition of viral, and then bring that viral topic to what it is that you talk about, and then add your expertise to it. So let me go to YouTube real quick just to show you something. There's something that I came across, and I might use it for a video idea for myself, right? I don't know what looks maxing is. It isn't for me or anything, but if you see this video here, it's titled "The World's Shortest Max Looking Guide You'll Ever Need." I was like, the format of this video is very intriguing to me. And I think that I could make a video like this as well. This is something that performed very well in another niche. I can jack that format and bring it over to what it is that I talk about. I could call it "The World's Shortest Digital Marketing Guide You'll Ever Need," "The World's Shortest Digital Product Guide You Ever Need," "The World's Shortest Personal Branding Guide You'll Ever Need." Like, I'm just freestyling titles right now, but I could take this concept and I could make a YouTube video from it, and I can talk about what it is that I talk about. And I'm sure within that short time frame, I would add a lot of value to people within that short time frame too, because of my expertise. And I'm sure if I just delete this looks maxing right here, I'm gonna just put "The World's Shortest Guide." Watch other people have success with this same video. So this video right here, "The World's Shortest Guide to Becoming a Polymath." They jacked the format, brought it over to whatever it is that they talk about. Here, "The World's Shortest Freestyle Tutorial You Will Ever Need." Jack the idea. Here, "The World's Shortest YouTube Shorts Guide You'll Ever Need." Somebody jacked the idea. Here, "The World's Shortest Guide to Learning Pretty Much Anything Fast in 2025. Jack the idea. And I don't even know who was the original creator of the idea, because some of these videos date before "The World's Shortest Looks Maxing Guide." So they may have jacked the format from somebody else. But you can take a topic that had performed well in another niche, or that had even gone viral in another niche, take the format, shake it up to whatever it is that you talk about within your niche with your expertise. Now, step 2 is going to be the viral vehicle. You see, certain things are just naturally magnetic. It could be props, it could be visuals, it could be tools to make your content more clickable. It might be a vintage car in your branding video. It might be a crazy visual metaphor like crushing a bad idea under one of those hydraulic presses. It might be a sound. It might be a Jarvis. Open the mask. Hey Jarvis, close the mask. It's dope, right? But it's something that makes people say like, hold up, what is this? What's happening here? But that's a viral vehicle. One visual could turn an average video into a hit. Now the third step is to, Jarvis still talking, hold on, let me cut Jarvis off. Okay, now the third step is to attach yourself to moments. So don't wait for people to search for you. Make the stuff that they're already searching for. So for example, let's say that someone happened to be a therapist and there's a great show on HBO Max called Succession. If you haven't seen Succession, highly advise you watch it after you finish your work. Don't waste time on HBO Max watching people that have accomplished their goals and their dreams if you haven't. But it's a great show. So let's say that there's a therapist. Well, they could make videos breaking down the character's psychological states on a show like Succession instead of making content about certain things, about why people need therapy and whatnot. They could analyze the characters and they could use something that's very well known as a show like Succession to get some new audience. If somebody was a marketer, they could react or break down a Super Bowl ad, right? Super Bowl comes around every year. Well, if somebody was a marketer, they could break down Super Bowl ads. If somebody was a marketer, if somebody has a high-selling album, like how Taylor Swift, what did Taylor Swift sell? Like 3 million albums in a day or something like that? If somebody's in marketing, they could break down Taylor Swift's album sales. They could break down Apple's latest launch of whatever new iPhone or new product that they have. If somebody is a creator, they could analyze the Mr. Beast, right, of the world. Or if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, he's the biggest YouTuber, period. Or even outside of that, they could analyze whoever the Mr. Beast is within their niche, because in every single niche, there's gonna be a Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is just the biggest YouTuber, period. But in any niche, there's gonna be a Mr. Beast. Like there's gonna be somebody who is the biggest person within that niche. Well, if you're a creator, you could talk about some of the things that that person is doing. But every niche has a pop culture overlap, and you can attach yourself to it, not to chase clout, but to show your expertise in context. Now, the fourth step is to take strong takes over safe takes. I'm gonna just put strong is greater than safe. So a lot of people are going the safe route instead of going the strong route. And the thing about the internet is that, I don't want to cover up my greater than sign there, but the thing about the internet is that the internet rewards opinions. And I've come to find it to be true that a lot of entrepreneurs that are looking to be contentpreneurs, and that's somebody that uses content to drive traffic to their business, they're scared to say the unpopular opinion because, for one, they're thinking, well, if people disagree with me, then I'm not going to build my brand because people won't like me. And if people don't like me, then nobody's going to buy my stuff. So they always just go the safe route when that's not what you want to do. You got to be willing to say the stuff that everyone else is scared to say. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be rude, but you got to be real. Like, I'm in the coaching space and I help entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs increase their income, impact, and influence online through creating and scaling digital products, right? I'm not scared to say that a lot of the high-ticket coaching space is full of shit. And there's a lot of predatory marketing that's going on, and how a lot of people out here, maybe even your favorite guru, and they might not be your favorite guru if you know that they were getting people to take out second mortgages on their house just to pay for a digital product. And yes, I said a digital product because anything that is delivered digitally is a digital product. So for a course with some Zoom sessions, yeah, that's a digital product, but they're getting people to take out second mortgages on their house and pulling from their retirement to pay for digital products. I think that is a lot of bullshit. And they don't talk about all the tons of people that are in financial ruins off of selling them the dream, because a lot of them aren't selling results, they're selling dreams. But they show the one person or the two people that had some success. And then a lot of the people that have been done wrong, they're out here also wanting to say the safe stuff. So the shiesty business tactics that a lot of these people use behind the scenes never come to light, because everybody just wants to say the safe thing. Well, I call bullshit. I don't like that shit. I thought that I wanted to do a lot of the things that I saw other people do until I paid for some stuff and learned some of the sales tactics behind some of that stuff. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna make my money, but I don't think I'm gonna make my bread like that. Like I don't want to tell no 52-year-old to pull from their retirement and take a second mortgage to get a course from me. Like, why don't I just help them make a certain amount of money, so if I did want to sell something more expensive to them, they could actually afford it from the value that I've already provided to them. But that's just me, and I'm cool being me, because I'm not like everybody else and everybody else isn't like me. You have to be comfortable with that too, and that comes in you having strong takes instead of safe takes. So if you're in the health field, for instance, and everybody else says that red meat is bad for you, and you have conviction that eating a steak is good for you, or everybody else over here saying that fat's bad for you, and you're over here saying like, no, you need some fat, say it. If you're in design and you think that Canva and AI is ruining creativity, say it. Now again, I'm not saying that you have to be rude, but you got to be real, and that realness is what will make you stand out, because on the internet, you want to stick out like a sore thumb. Right? A lot of people, they're just saying the safe stuff and they're blending in instead of having strong takes and sticking out. You got to say something that gives people a reason to share the thing that you said. And even if you use, at the time of me recording this video, the president of the United States right now, Donald Trump, not getting into politics. I don't care if you like the guy. I don't care if you hate the guy, but I'm just using him as an example. He's somebody that has extremely strong takes. And if you look at his competitor on who he just won this last presidency against, Kamala Harris, she didn't really have any strong takes, right? Her and her party were trying to please everybody, versus Trump and his team. They had very strong takes and they could care less about the people that did not agree with their takes, versus somebody over here that's just saying all the safe stuff that is trying to get everybody to agree to the safe stuff. The same exact thing goes down in content. That's why I said we don't need to get in front of all the people. That's why we need those viral for you moments, right? So if somebody disagrees with you, that's great, because there's going to be somebody else that does agree with you. And we need to focus on those people, not everybody else that doesn't. And then the fifth step is depth. Look, you got to go deep. That's what she said. But this is the part that nobody talks about. If you're deeply passionate about something, share it. Going deep is what turns people into fans. That's what she said. But talk about the history, the culture, the inside jokes of your world. There's millions of people that love to go deep. That's what she said again. Why does she keep on saying that? But if you become the creator who takes them there, then you'll own that space. And then the sixth step is speed and simplicity. Especially here, the simplicity. A lot of people, they're just overcomplicating everything, and they think that if they make something seem super complicated in their content, that they're gonna seem smarter, when a lot of that super complicated stuff just intimidates people or makes them feel overwhelmed, and then they think that they can't do something, when it's the simplicity of stuff that scales. Simple stuff scales, the fancy stuff fails. But speed and simplicity are crucial, because the algorithm loves frictionless content. Cut the fluff, get to the point, and deliver your idea fast. Now, when I say deliver your idea fast, I'm not saying that you have to make short form content or that you can't have a long video, but if it takes you 36 minutes to get to the point, then you just wasted 36 minutes. And it's not that people have short attention spans, but they have short patience for boring intros. So all that, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hey, comment, like, subscribe, and all that YouTuber jazz and riff-raff talk. Well, if you're looking to get in front of a new audience, they haven't seen you before. So why are you telling them welcome back to my channel? And the way that YouTube works anyways, majority of your viewers are going to be new viewers. Like if you're having a YouTube channel that is growing, majority of the viewership is going to be new people. So you're sitting there on every single video saying, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. It's your boy again. They don't know who your boy is. Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And on my YouTube channel, you don't got to say your name. People that's watching YouTube, they can see the name of your channel. They know your name. Get to the point. Create a hook, which is going to be something in the beginning of the video to grab their attention, and then get to the point as soon as possible. Now, whether your video is a few minutes to however long that you want it to be, that doesn't matter as long as the value is there. So I'm not saying to intentionally make shorter videos. Make your videos as short or as long as they need to be for you to get your point across and for you to add the true value that you need to add to your viewer. But don't just make something long just to make it long for long's sake, or don't just make something sound super complicated just for super complication's sake. People, they want to be able to easily, simply digest some information. Make your content reward attention early and you'll get more attention later. I'm telling you, you add these 6 steps right here, watch your content do a complete 180. Now I want to give you some real world examples from some YouTube creators so we can prove that this works, right? So if I look at a channel like this Epic Gardening, right? Epic Gardening, the owner and creator of this channel is a guy by the name of Kevin Esper. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but his first name's Kevin. Now Kevin is turning dirt into literal gold. Kevin took a concept of gardening, Kevin Espiritu, I think that's his name, Kevin Espiritu, and I'm probably saying his last name wrong. Just want to give him some credit. But Kevin has taken a boring niche, which a lot of people would think is boring. Like, why would people want to watch all kinds of content on gardening? But he has built a multi-million-dollar business off of YouTube traffic talking about gardening. He has no gimmicks. He just has clarity, consistency, and curiosity. So even if I just look at his most recent video, right? This one right here that says, her garden got destroyed, so we built her a new one. Garden makeover. Well, most people that make gardening content would say, how to make a new garden. That's boring. But Kevin uses curiosity. Her garden got destroyed. If somebody was to see that, why did her garden get destroyed? Now that person is interested, so then Kevin earns the click. Then when they click that, he's probably going to tell a story as he teaches, and that's how he's built this entire channel. He made plants feel powerful by turning every tip into a story about mastery. I'll give you another example. There's somebody called The Hoof GP. This guy literally pulls stories out the mud. He's a Scottish hoof trimmer that films his work saving injured cows. And every video is like a story of redemption. They have tension, they present a problem, and they show transformation. That's why millions watch. So let's just find a video, for example. So you see this video right here, right? This video is titled, "This was a huge problem for the cow." And then the thumbnail has something that's blurred out on the cow's hoof, and it says it's a toe. So somebody else that might be a hoofer, right? Remember, it's like a fork in the road. Remember, there's 2 ways that people could go anytime they decide to click a video to watch. You have this fork in the road, you go this way for information. You have this fork in the road, you go this way for curiosity. Well, is this not grabbing on somebody's curiosity by having a video titled, This was a huge problem for the cow. What was a huge problem for the cow? And then you see the thumbnail and it's a cow's hoof blurred and it says it's a toe. Now you're thinking, huh, how the heck did a toe get in a cow's hoof? You click it. Then throughout this video, he's probably going to tell a captivating story that has a little bit of tension, that has a problem, and then shows the transformation of getting whatever this item is out of the cow's hoof. Another channel, the Americana Pipe Dream Apparel. So, look, this person's last video, the history of the bomber jacket. He tells a history of the bomber jacket. It's telling a story, captivating people through the storytelling. And guess what his product is that he sells directly from this video? Well, he sells apparel, so he has a bomber jacket. So I'm sure that this individual didn't just make a video about the history of bomber jackets just to make a video about the history of bomber jackets. He has a product to sell, which is the bomber jacket. But is anybody gonna buy that bomber jacket if somebody has a video titled, "Look how cool this bomber jacket is"? But grabbing somebody's attention to learn the history behind the bomber jacket, and then he makes an offer to his product, that's more enticing. And his content is full of history and historical jokes and deep dives and other jokes that only his audience understands. They didn't build an audience, they built a culture. Now, taking it back to you and your channel, because I could just show you examples like literally for forever. But I want to show you how you can take this whole breakdown and this concept and turn it into a system for yourself. And system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, right? You need to create a system because we only have so much time available, right? And we only have so much time that we can put into inputs in order to get a certain output. But if we create a system for ourselves, this system can work for us 24/7, 365, and that's how we actually get our time back and we make more while working less. And this is something that I teach directly to the members of my community. It's credited at the top. The link's down in the description if you want to join. But I call it the YouTube solar system. So when I was thinking about making YouTube my primary engine, right, and my primary marketing source, I was like, okay, I need to turn this into a system because a lot of people seem to make YouTube sound really, really, really hard, and YouTube seems super, super spooky and super scary. I was like, I know it's got to be simple if I can just create a simple system around it. So I started studying just all types of systems, and I started with the original system that was made, the first system, which was the solar system. So I created the same thing for myself. So if you just think about the solar system, what's in the center of every solar system, right? In the center of every solar system, you're going to have a main star. And our main star, this is going to be your niche, right? Now, a lot of people, they think that when they have a particular niche, that they're gonna run out of stuff to talk about because they only can talk about like this one thing within their niche. That's not the case. So if everything is going to orbit around our sun, which is going to be our niche, because we're not content creators, we don't talk about everything. We're contentpreneurs. We're using content to drive traffic to our business. Well, what orbits around the sun? You have all these different planets, right? Now, each actual planet rotates around the sun within that same niche. Now, these are going to be your pillars or maybe even your content buckets that you talk about, but you don't talk about anything that cannot orbit around your niche. So if I use myself for an example, my planets would be branding. All right, my planets would be marketing. I'm gonna just put MKT. My planet could be branding. I could have another planet here that could be content. I could have another planet here that could be selling or sales. I could have another planet here that could be systems, right? So these are all going to be my content buckets that all revolve around my particular niche. But if you think about the solar system, well, if planets orbit around the sun, what orbits around the planets? You have your moons. And these moons are going to be the types of content that we make around a particular subject. And these are the only types of videos that you make, right? So say that I have a moon right here and I'm making a video about a brand. Well, there's going to be 5 types of moons, right? And these 5 types of content that you make are going to be answering specific questions, keyword on specific questions, right? It's going to be teaching specific skills, emphasis on specific, but teaching specific skills, trend surfing, influencer surfing, or telling stories. So these 5 are going to be the 5 types of moons, right? So if I want to make a video about branding, well, I'm either going to make a video answering a specific question, teaching a specific skill, trend surfing, influencer surfing, or storytelling, and that's how I'm going to make that video about the certain brand. If I'm going to make a video on content, right, my planet, well, what type of video, what is my moon going to be about the video that I'm going to make about content? Well, it's going to go into one of these 5 buckets. It's going to be me either answering that specific question, teaching a specific skill, trend surfing, influencer surfing, or storytelling. If I was in the health niche and one of my planets was a diet, well, instead of just talking about a diet, no, I'm either going to be answering a specific question, teaching a specific skill, trend surfing, influencer surfing, or storytelling. And if you look at any video on YouTube, they're doing one of these 5 things. They're either answering a specific question, teaching a specific skill, trend surfing, influencer surfing, or storytelling. The problem that you're having right now is that you're just making random content instead of implementing a system for yourself. And even content for the purposes of just entertainment does this. Like, I watch a lot of content about sports. I watch a lot of content about music. Anytime they're talking about anything that's happening in the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, the WNBA, they're doing one of these things. And a lot of times they're doing storytelling, they're doing trend surfing, or they'll talk about a certain individual and use the influence of that individual within the actual story. Like, any piece of content that you consume on YouTube follows one of these 5. You'll be hard pressed to find something that doesn't. But when you think like this and you implement a system for yourself, for this YouTube solar system, each piece of content has a purpose, right? And no matter what you make, each piece of content is going to gravitate and keep people within your solar system, and they'll get closer to you, right? Because here, remember, the sun is your niche, but we want to monetize our content also, and we have an offer attached to our content. But if this person is in our solar system for long enough, then it's just a matter of time before they take the offer. So when you do have those viral for you moments, right, it's going to be great, because a lot of times that individual, when they become aware of you through that viral content for you, they typically don't buy off of that. But guess what? They got pulled into your solar system. And then once they hit this planet and that moon, then they hit this planet, that moon, then they hit this planet, that moon. They do that time and time again. Then you get this effect that I call the binge and buy effect. Then you start to make the money. And then you get the numbers coming in online, your business, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Credit at the Top community. For personal coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So go ahead and click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. I'm telling you, YouTube can be so powerful if you use it and produce on it instead of letting it use you and just consuming everything. And instead of asking, how can I make this go viral? Start asking, how can I make this fit in my solar system? Because when your content has structure, your business doesn't rely on luck. It runs on gravity. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that are guaranteed to sell. It's Credit at the Top.